42-year-old Asha Mayo is one of the new returnees from Dadaab. This makeshift structure is now her new home. She tells me returning back to Somalia was not the right move for her and 5 of her children.
We cannot earn a living here. Our children have no food and no schools. What we want is schools, food and permanent homes. The UN said it will take care of us once we come to Somalia, but we have been left here all alone to fend for ourselves.
Her new neighbors come to see her, to welcome her and her children. Not far from the camp, a group of old men tell me about their poor living conditions. This man receives a call from one of his friends. After a brief conversation, he tells me that he's been informed of some 30 new returnees from Dadaab who have no place to stay and spent the night in an overcrowded displacement camp along the Mogadishu-Afgoye corridor.
We have received 40 new returnees at this IDP camp. 30 new families are also set to join us later in the day. It's a major humanitarian challenge, but we share what we have with them. There are no jobs for them. Some haven't left their homes since they came.
This camp, located on the outskirts of Mogadishu, is home to some 740 families. 40 of them are new here, having returned back to Somalia after spending more than a decade living in one of the world's biggest refugee camps in Kenya. Majority of the IDPs in this camp are families that fled the conflict and deadly famine in southern Somalia since late 2010. 6 years later, the United Nations warns of a humanitarian disaster unless the international community provides urgent funding.
A major lack of funding that has plagued us so far in various critical life-saving sectors that has not allowed us to respond. Of the $120 million that I appealed for in March of this year, only $40 million was received.
However, a $3 million pilot project approved by the UN Peacebuilding Fund is set to change the lives of these new returnees. According to United Nations, the project will commence in early 2017 and will target returnees who have returned to Billow in the southwest region of Somalia. Under the program, the returnees will receive vocational training with assurances from the UN that they will then be helped to settle down and contribute to a community dialogue and reintegration process. As many as 22,000 refugees have returned back to Somalia from Dadaab after Kenya announced earlier this year of its plans to shut down the facility that is home to more than 350,000 refugees, mainly from Somalia. Abdulaziz, Billow, CCTV, Mogadishu, Somalia.